If you got hit by a brain, like it would just splat on you. Who the hell is Franklin and why does he have monsters? Maybe these marsh goblins have been eating too many beans. Maybe that's why there's so much marsh gas. And he's like cheering. Yeah! Yeah, we're gonna do it! My head won't stop bobbling. It's been too long. I'm been through so many multiverses. Or is there just one? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. What's up, guys? It's Casual Wizard, MTG, Kyle. What's up? I'm back. And I know it's been a really long time. I want to talk about The Dark, an old set. It's back from the early 1990s. It's one of the first expansion sets that Magic had. It's one of my favorite sets, if not my favorite set. Small set, I think it's like 120 cards, 119 cards, something like that. But it came out, I think, in 1994, which, I mean, you guys might have not even been sperms yet. You might have not even been developed sperms, many of you. I don't know, but I was just coming out of my pre-teens, heading into my teenage years, my rebellious years. Anyway, so why do I love The Dark? Because I'm a huge fan of Halloween. It is every day is Halloween in my heart. It is in my soul. Every day is Halloween. There's a lot of Halloween imagery, a lot of the whole darkness, the macabre. It's all in this set. So again, I want to kind of start off with the artwork. The whole set is terrific, and I mean the whole set is art that makes me sharp in my pants. Some of the highlighted names of the cards that kind of represent some of the Halloween theme. We got City of Shadows, Elves of Deep Shadow, Eater of the Dead. That's pretty macabre when you're eating the dead. The Exorcist, classic, probably one of the best horror movies ever made. Frankenstein's Monster, Ghost Ship, Grave Robbers, Scarecrow. What's more Halloween than a scarecrow? Like, seriously, maybe Season of the Witch? Like, yeah, come on, guys. The Dark is where it's at. It's straight up celebrating Halloween. Like, whoa, it's my favorite. So The Dark introduced players to the Maze of Ith. This is where the original Maze of Ith. Same with Blood Moon. Everybody loves Blood Moon. And Leviathan, which is 10/10. And I think at the time it was the biggest creature in Magic. I know there was a Force of Nature, which is an 8/8. I think that might have been an alpha card, maybe beta, but I think it's been around. I think Force of Nature came out, but I think Leviathan just came out in The Dark. 10/10. The artwork's awesome. You know how I love art, and if it matches the power and toughness of a card, and this Leviathan is like eating the side of a mountain with a tower on it, showing its sheer size. I mean, it's like Eldrazi size creature. It could probably eat an Eldrazi. Let's get into some of my favorite art from the set. But the Book of Wrath is this cool, I mean, it's got like this dungeon library, and there's just the walls go all the way back to the castle door, and it's all just lined with books. Not that I don't read a ton, definitely not as much as I should, but if I had a library in my house, it would definitely be in my dungeon, and that's what it would look like. City of Shadows. This card is awesome. I mean, it looks like it's a city of shadows, and that's the kind of city that I want to live. I want to live in a shadow within the City of Shadows. Grave Robbers. This card's awesome. It tells a story. That's what I really like about a lot of the art, especially in these old sets, is they really tell a story. I mean, look at these Grave Robbers. They're definitely up to no good. They're robbing graves, and like, I don't know, but they better get out of there soon. I bet the cops are coming. That sounds really corny and stupid. And then we have Sorrow's Path. This card is insane. There's so much going on. You've got like action in the foreground. You got action in like the background. Action on the ground. I mean, there's got like a dragon or a drake or something up on the hill, and he's like about to go across a bridge where there's two people fighting. On the other side of the bridge, there's a giant who's going to come to slay the dragon. And you got like a wizard or something in the foreground, and he's like casting a spell on a monkey, and the monkey's like, I don't know if he's being petrified or he's like stabbing his eye because he's in so much pain, or if he's just like drinking a potion, whatever it is. It doesn't look good for the monkey. So back it off, wizard. Like, nobody likes to hurt animals. I don't know if you guys saw my video. I did a video, I don't know if it was exclusive about Ron Spencer, but he's my favorite artist. But there's a video anyway that I talk a lot about him. But Ron Spencer, like, he was one of the original 19 or 20 artists in Magic. I don't think he's I think he's still like around in life, but I don't think he's too active with. I don't remember the last time he had a card. Maybe you guys know. I should look that up. But anyway, Ron Spencer has 11 cards in this set, which is insane. 11 cards out of like 120. I mean, it's almost 10% of the set. It's insane, and it's like 10 more drawings than I've done in my life. Notably, Ron Spencer has said this himself, his least favorite artwork he has ever done is a card called Waterworm. And I mean, it's probably my least favorite as well. I mean, it's kind of shitty looking. He acknowledges that himself, and he said something like, when he was interviewed, he said something to the tune of, I'm paraphrasing, so forgive me, Ron, if Wizards wanted a better artwork for that card, it's got to be a rare, which I thought was cool. Like, I don't know if that's how it works for all artists, if they really only kind of put their best work into cards that are going to have a certain rarity or a certain value. I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. We have a Goblin Wizard, which is awesome, but why I mention him is because he's playing with this wooden sphere, which is actually another card, or not. The name of the card is Dark Sphere. Another card in the set is called Dark Sphere, and the Goblin Wizard, he's like doing something with this dark sphere, and I'm wondering if it's actually supposed to be the dark wooden sphere from the other card. And then let's get into some notable cards in the set. It's probably my favorite part of talking about sets in these videos. This is where I get into the WTF MTG. Like, what the are you thinking with some of these artworks? And as you know, I like to compare the power and toughness with the artwork itself. I don't care about what the ability says. I'm just judging it solely by the picture and if it matches the power and toughness on the card, or if it just has anything to do with maybe with the title of the card. We have then we have this dude. He's the Apprentice Wizard. This dude's like, obviously he's never seen a wand before, because he's like, just doesn't know what to make of this stick in his hand. He's obviously an apprentice at best, but he's a Gandalf. He is not. Then we have Inferno, which is like, whoa, this is aptly named. This card is straight up fire. There's like one pink gelatinous wizard. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be. He's like, it's so hot that he's just melting himself in the middle of the card. For some reason they have like a dog, he's not quite on fire, but he's about to be engulfed in flames, and it's weird. Maybe it's supposed to be a werewolf, just looks like a dog in the middle of flames with a melting wizard. But shit is crazy. Then there's this card called Mind Bomb. It's like literal. It's a brain, mind falling from the sky, and it's going to be a bomb. But it's like the worst bomb that you could ever, like, if imagine fighting a war with mind bombs. Nothing would get accomplished. Just if you got hit by a brain, like, it would just splat on you. It's just It's a terrible way of fighting a war, guys. Don't use mind bombs. And then we have this guy, this card, Morale, and you have this guy, and he's like cheering, yeah, yeah, we're gonna do it, like waving the red banner, and he's getting his troops all fired up, and you got this guy in the background, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna win, and he's like about to get us a spear to the spleen. Dude, you don't just stop fighting in the middle of a war. We have marsh goblins and we have marsh gas, and I'm kind of wondering is maybe these marsh goblins have been eating too many beans. Maybe that's why there's so much marsh gas. And now we kind of go right into some straight up WTFs, guys. Like, what's up with this? So if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I have a big problem when there is groups of creatures or groups of people on a card, when there's more than one individual on it, basically, and the toughness and the power are like a 1-1. It should every individual should count for something more than 0.5. You know what I'm saying? So some of the cards here are like Goblin Digging Team. 1-1. There's 2 goblins in this card. It's a stretch for me to be a 1-1. And you know, comparatively, it's all relative to other cards in the set, which I'll get into. We have Drowned, which there's 6 dudes. There's like 6 zombie dudes or whatever they are, 6 dead drowned things in the water, and they're a 1-1. 6 of them. That doesn't make any sense to me. There's Goblins of the Flarg, a couple of goblins, at least 2 on this card, maybe more. 1-1. We have pikemen. There are 3 pikemen, and they're a 1-1. And then we have rats, which there's 2. These might be a 1-1 because rats are pretty small, but in the magical world, you know, rats, most rats are at least a 1 and a 1 themselves. So, like, what's up with all these 1-1s? What the Magic the Gathering. And then especially when you got like Merc Dwellers and you got Scarward Bandits, they're 2-2. There are multiple creatures on these cards. This makes sense. At least they got to be a 2-2. And then we have a card that's actually 1-2, a Merfolk Assassin. And over his shoulder, like, he's kind of creeping out of the water, kind of like that famous Rambo scene where he's like looking around, and over his shoulder there's a pirate ship. And we assume that he took it out, and I don't think a 1-2 can take out an entire ship. That doesn't fly. That doesn't fly. I mean, it's not. It doesn't jive with me. It's not cool. I don't think that can happen. And actually, there's a card called Ghost Ship in this set, and it's a 2-4. And there ain't no way that Merfolk Assassin took down the Ghost Ship. That's a 2-4. It just doesn't make sense in any capacity. So I gotta say WTF MTG. But I should say maybe he took down that ship and that ship came to be known as the Ghost Ship. Maybe that happened. That's kind of cool if that's a connection there. Oh, there's a couple cards that are 0-1. There's Banshee, which is an 0-1, and Franklin's Monster. Who the hell is Franklin, and why does he have monsters? Anybody? Franklin? Monsters? No, I meant Frankenstein's Monster, who's also an 0-1. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, the Banshee's kind of like, maybe he's 0-1 because he's doing this in the card. So maybe he's just doing like, boo, 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 gotcha. Maybe that's why Frankenstein's Monster makes 0 sense why it would be a 0-1. Especially when you have cards like Preacher. He's a 1-1. And a Scarwood Hag. Who's this, like this old witch. She's just got her head above water. Maybe that's all she has is a head. I don't know. Maybe she's just a floating head, and she's a 1-1. But these things can take out Frankenstein's Monster, aka Franklin's Monster, and they can take out a Banshee. Like, it doesn't make any sense. What Magic the Gathering? Finally, we get to a slug. A spitting slug is 2-4. Now, how does this make any sense? It is a slug, unless it's like the biggest slug in the multiverse, which it can't be. You know, I was thinking, well, maybe it's a giant slug, but then there's this other set, Legends, another old set, which is a card called Giant Slug, and it's a 1-1. So I don't get it. How is this slug a 2-4? And then we have a Squire, which is a 1-2, and a Waterworm, the aforementioned Waterworm, which is a 1-1. All these creatures, the slug, the squire, the waterworm, they can take out, and the Scarwood Hag, the preacher, they can take out these groups of creatures like the Drowned and Goblin of the Flarg, pikemen. They can take out 3 pikemen. That doesn't make any damn sense. I don't get that shit. Not for 1 second. What the Magic the Gathering? Let's talk about the Bubbling Beebles really quick. I used to like expand so much on the Bubbling Beebles in all my videos. I'm gonna keep this section short from now on. I'm just gonna highlight 1 or 2 cards. That's bullshit. Bubbling Beebles, bunch of bubbles, 3/3. Shouldn't even be at best an 0/1. They're a bunch of bubbles. They tick me off. In the dark, notable creatures that Bubbling Beebles can take out is the Fire Drake, a 1/2 flying dragon. Doesn't make any sense when he can just breathe the fire on the bubbles. Nope, not these bubbles. And mostly, I have a problem that they can take out Uncle Istvan, who is a 1/3. This dude has a bloody axe. You can tell he's been around the block a time or 2. You guys know like old men's strength. You guys know what old men's strength is, right? It's like at a certain age, guys just have like this incredible strength. And I don't know what it starts at. If it's like when guys turn like 40 or 45 or 50, whatever it is, it's like they could be 5'2", 97 pounds throughout their whole life, but as soon as they hit that old man age of 45 or whatever it is, they have this old man strength, and it's undeniable. They can bend like a car bumper in half. It's just like this innate strength that happens to men when they turn a certain age. Uncle Istvan is like triple the age of old man age to have that strength, and he can't take out a bunch of bubbles. Bullshit. Oh, you know what? The Bubbling Beebles, they can't take out a spitting slug. They can't take out the slug, but they can take out Uncle Old Man Strength Istvan. Then how I want to end the videos, how I usually do is I go into the flavor text of a couple of the cards. Where Wizards of the Coast, they kind of add, there's a little bit of depth sometimes to some of these cards. Some life lessons, if you will. And in the dark we have Grave Robbers. The quote says, "If you don't have your health, you don't have anything." And that's really true, guys. And it's stuff that you notice when you get older. We all know about old people. Or as you get older, health problems start to come on. Can't move as well. Just health conditions worsen over time. And you really got to take care of yourself. We can get away with it when we're younger and we're in our teenage years, in our 20s. But if you keep doing that stuff too long, if you eat junk all the time, and you don't get exercise, you don't get sleep, it takes a toll on the body. So then we have the Fountain of Youth. The fountain had stood in the town square for centuries, but only the pigeons knew its secret. This I kind of thought of like as a metaphor in a way. We like to complicate our lives a lot in so many different ways. We don't let things roll off our shoulders as much as we should. We take everything so serious sometimes, and we take things so personal, and we forget that we're all gonna friggin' die. So there's very little to be so concerned about. We don't have to be so serious all the time, and we gotta learn to keep it a little bit simpler in our lives. And by keeping it simple, a lot of the things that we're looking for in life, we strive so much to attain this certain idea of success that we all that we make for ourselves. And there's things that we gotta have in this ever running race of chasing down success and chasing down happiness, only to realize that once we attain what we thought would make us happy, we're still not happy. And there's always something more to search for. But really, just like the Fountain of Youth says, sometimes everything we're looking for is right in front of us. Alright guys, that's enough like weird introspection I just did. I might have lost some of you there. It's cool. I get it. It happens all the time to me and my friends. They kind of tune out when I talk. Anyway, keep kicking ass, guys. Stay magical. Stay casual.